What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Fudge Muppet. It's Michael and Scott here today talking about the best changes or some of the best changes in Fallout 4.
So, number one, power armor. Hands down, power armor was so much better in Fallout 4. Big improvement over the other ones. Instead of just jumping into a little tin can outfit, you're actually getting into a fucking tank. It's so much better. Hands down, it fits in with the lore. Like, power armor is supposed to be this super big, powerful thing. You're a walking armored tank.
The frame is meant to make you powerful on its own.
Yeah.
And I like that it gives you, like, the 10 strength as well. Like, it's not even just the aesthetic, like, oh, you get in it. It actually sort of does make you superhuman.
And having it, like, with the fusion cores and stuff, as a bit of a balance, even though you can get heaps anyway by later on.
Especially with nuclear physicists.
Yeah.
But, like, what that does is it's like that sort of... it makes it feel more valuable because you need a certain thing to sustain it.
And yeah, for intelligence characters, you can substitute being shit at everything else by getting nuclear physicist and being good in power armor.
Low endurance characters.
Yeah.
Really
that was
beast.
my first character.
The science.
Low endurance. I used power armor like my entire first playthrough because I jumped in. I had high intelligence, charisma, fuck all endurance. So I got in the power armor, and that's how I survived and played my game. But it was so good. Like, and you feel cool because I played a chick too. But then you get in power armor and this huge tank sort of thing. You feel strong.
And the customization of the power armor.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, how many power armor types were there in previous games? Like a few at best. And like when they were there, it was like all the same color basically.
Yeah,
and, like,
pretty much.
This is, I mean, not that you definitely have to, but if you want to, hot pink power armor is available. I mean, you know.
It was definitely really, really
And Raider
good.
power armor is extremely cool as well.
And that's the other thing. Putting enemies in that power armor it was so much more intimidating because you're like, oh fuck, this guy's got power armor, or you get to Tessa or Clint in Quincy, and it feels like, oh shit, I'm in for a battle now because this is big dude in power armor.
And part of the customization as well was the jetpack, which was like,
oh yeah, of course.
Funnily enough, like if you said to me like, should there be jetpacks in Fallout? Like before I saw the trailer, I would have been like, sounds a bit silly.
Yeah,
but especially the limited use of it, like it's not like a stupid jetpack.
Because it's like a like a little jump pack kind of thing.
Yeah. See, but when I saw it in the trailer, it was just like
it gives you could make like the best character with like Warhammer 40k vibes. You get Exo. I get Exo 1 armor. Don't wear the helmet though. Put a jetpack on the back. Get out your Super Slage, and it looks like you're a Terminator with a what is it? Super Slage, an assault Terminator or something.
Yeah. Funnily enough, I really wanted when I saw before the game came out and it said Extended Ripper. Like, I thought of, like, one of the really long chainsaws. Unfortunately, it was a lot smaller.
Yeah, that's There's one disappointing thing about Fallout 4. It's the Extended Ripper.
It's a motorized subway. It's, like...
Pretty much.
a foot long. Should we move on to the next...
Well, yeah, let's go on
it for power
as
armor?
a little segue from the power armor enemies, let's go on to the enemies in general, like creatures and robots and stuff.
Yes.
You can take it away.
I think... It's non-human. I got it on my phone. It's non-human enemies were done really well in Fallout 4. All the new things, like, you know, they didn't have to do these things, but you have the rad roaches crawling, you know, all over the walls, and the rad scorpions diving under the ground and coming out like Scorponok, right? Is that Scorponok?
Scorponok, yeah.
Scorponok from Transformers, just coming out everywhere. The Deathclaw, like lots of different types. It's not just Deathclaw. I know there was like Alpha
There was
Deathclaw
like the chameleon Deathclaw,
like,
goes invisible. And...
Yeah. I was saying like from New Vegas. It's not just those few in that specific Quarry Junction. It's like an invisible Deathclaw, like the chameleon one. Yeah. And like glowing creatures in general were really cool.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And the effects that they had, like I didn't even, funnily enough, probably because I cleaned through ghoul areas so quickly, we only recently discovered like I can't believe, but we only recently discovered that glowing ones, when you kill all their ghoul mates and they go bah, and they shoot out the huge like green ring and they all come back to life.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
But they were so diverse, so good. And like, this is probably more to do with the physics thing, but I'm pretty sure if you look at the Hunter build, at the start of it, the Deathclaw swings this car at me. Yeah. But it like almost deliberately hits it up at you. And like all the little movements, like, you know, when the Deathclaws spray debris at you to try and attack you, and like...
Yeah.
There's just so much stuff. And even things like how you'll get I think it's a garden terrace or something, and then this Deathclaw comes out of nowhere and climbs up the side.
Yeah. And sorry, the ghouls, like climbing over buildings and into buildings, and they like lay down dead or whatever. Like the synths will just lay in a grass field and then get
And you know, the blood bugs stabbing you and everything with the animations.
And the Deathclaw picking you up. And like synths as well, like they had different attacks. Like they weren't just like humans. They do that melee attack where they go bang and then come around again with the same hand. And like...
And
the non-human enemies were just made. Like, I know the AI on humans was improved, but that's not what we're talking about. Like, we're not going to be talking about a lot of like expected things. Like, like finishes and stuff were really cool, but they had them in Skyrim. Like, oh yeah, they'll probably be finishes.
Yeah, well, but the Assaultron too.
Yeah, and then when it comes out with the
because
blades,
the enemies were fucking scary. Not just because they're a high level and they do a lot of damage. It's just like, holy shit, it's just got to shoot this one big lethal beam at me, or it's got to grab me and throw me around. Or
and sentry bots, how they just, like, you're looking at it and they go...
Yeah, there was so much... Shit. Yeah, so many of the enemies were far more intimidating. That was the big thing.
Even if, and this is one of the problems, I found that they weren't actually... they weren't actually hard.
Yeah.
Like, you kill a Deathclaw straight away, it's a bit like, But like,
yeah,
they are intimidating and they move better, and like even when a Deathclaw, if you see in our Gunzerker video, we're shooting it with a minigun, it like starts running like zigzag to like avoid. Enemies were done really well, which takes us to one of our next topics:
how to kill those enemies with weapons that have been customized.
And armor.
The weapon and armor customization was so much better. Being able to turn like a plasma pistol into a plasma shotgun, into a plasma flamethrower.
I mean, the only beef I have with it, it's not really beef. It's just something that to like take note. Is that it sort of got rid of like the individuality. So like when you're playing like New Vegas or Fallout 3 or whatever, there's a Magnum, right?
Yeah.
And then you find scoped Magnum and you've never seen one before. You're like, holy shit, this is really cool. But I think people don't realize, like, if you actually were to take every single like individual thing, even if you didn't just fiddle with little bits, even as whole individual combinations from Fallout 4, there are so many weapons you can make.
Well, it's like, because the hunting rifle and the sniper rifle, instead of being two separate weapons like in New Vegas or Fallout 3, it's now the one weapon that's just upgraded.
Yeah, I don't know if I like that heaps of that specific example, but like things like plasma caster, like that's really cool.
In general, just the variety too. Like just be able to take shotguns, like, oh, this is an automatic one, to benefit from different perks and so on.
Yeah,
but like there was a lot of variety, and it was really good. And melee weapons.
The railway rifle was really cool as well. Even the whole animations on that. I know that's not customization. But things like putting a bayonet on your gun, that was nice.
Oh, and of course, this is a little extension of the armor customization thing I just thought of now. But the layered armoring and stuff, like being able to get like patches of Raider armor and
wear clothes chests underneath as well.
Yeah,
see, that was used to just be you put on your armor, it's the entire suit except for the headpiece.
Yeah.
Whereas now, you have all your pieces, like Skyrim, but then you can wear clothing underneath
just like Morrowind.
Yeah, and...
Ooh, calling back nostalgia time.
But something really cool about that as well is, like, things as simple as not only changing the aesthetic, like with Raider armor, you make it, like, buttressed and it changes what it looks like, but changing the colors, so you can change the resistance, but then, like, like, let's say combat armor, you can make it black.
Yeah.
Like, imagine being able to get NCR armor in New Vegas and make it black or something, you know what I mean? Like, the customization was a nice thing to see in Fallout 4.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can say there should have been more uniques to play around with and customize, like, the anti-material rifle, and then with a bit of customization.
Yeah.
But we're not talking about weapons. We're just saying the customization of weapons in general was a really cool feature to have.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't really go, I hate that. It was so much. It was so good. And then our final point is all about drugs. Don't take them.
Chems.
But in Fallout 4, chems.
Chems are good.
They did jet really well, like actual slow time instead of just a little bit of extra action points or something.
Go watch the Pyromaniac, man. I've brought that up in like every on-camera discussion video, but just go watch the Pyromaniac.
It's so good, and like just little details too, like you take chems and you go like, oh fuck yeah, or like, oh, I'm gonna kill, like your character actually responds to taking drugs, and like stim packs, you actually put them in you.
Yeah.
I guess they didn't want to do that with like other things, like
like buff out,
like
you just open it and like
because it's like stim packs like a healing item.
Yeah,
so.
but like it's basically when we say chems, most of that is like jet. It's like jet.
Pretty much jet.
Jet's really cool. Slow, like
the whole slow-mo thing.
Like, nerd raid,
and they technically had slow-mo with like Hydra and stuff, but the jet, like, it gave jet so much personality. The actual drug itself, it's like this is instead of just like more action points. Like the slow time thing made it cool, and it's viable to use with characters as
and
well.
it's more common as well. Like it's a pretty easy thing to
rather than like super duper Hydra extra or whatever the hell it was in New Vegas.
Absolutely, and then with chemist and stuff, it becomes better because it's like, oh, use it for like 40 seconds, like
But I mean, so power armor, weapon customization, better enemies, and drugs, chems. They were really good. They were some of our favorite improvements.
That's pretty much it, guys. Tell us in the comments what you think. Settlements. were also an interesting ad. They were pretty cool, had some fun building some settlements, but were they worth it?
We've got a little video coming up on that one. We'll have to do one on that, which is a broader discussion in itself.
Yes.
But
so it won't be included in this video.
And besides that, check us out on Snapchat, check us out on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, but most importantly, Snapchat, and subscribe if you haven't already.
Yes.
I'm going to keep pointing at the camera. Do it now. We want you to be part of Fudge Muppet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is pointing rude? I never got that.
I don't know. It's just very direct and like, we want you to join the American military.
Yeah.
But subscribe
Thanks
and
for
like
watching,
the video.
and we'll see you later.
See you next time.